What is going on, guys? Tim here, bringing you back another video. As you can see, we look a little bit goofy right now, but of course, as you guys know, I've got my Boss 302 and we're about to do the install video. I'm basically about to hop into it with this video, get straight to the point. Probably aiming for this thing to take me about an hour and a half by myself, simply because it's my first time doing it. But I've been watching some videos and it's pretty simple to the task, so as long as I get to it, I know that that'll be fine, because every time I think about doing something like this, I think I can't do it, but then when I get there, boom, I do it. So I have this PurgeValve relocator, this hose right here. I did not buy that like $200 kit that was from American Muscle, LMR. My friend Kylon actually helped me out this. Shout out to you, Kylon. He came ahead and told me that I did not need to buy the kit. I just need to buy some hose, and it comes with a few clamps, just 2 clamps, a hose and 2 clamps. That's all you need. You can buy this at the auto parts store. This is 3/8 fuel line hose right here we got for the PurgeValve relocator. This thing was only like 12 bucks. So 12 bucks versus 200 bucks all day. I'll show you guys the details. This is going to be the almost the last step that I install in that. Alright, so one of the first things I'm going to do is just remove this battery, the negative battery cable right here. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the strut tower brace, which is, I think, is on by, if we get a 13 mil. Yep, that is a 13 mil. Strut tower brace should just come off simply like that. We're going to throw our bolts and our nuts right back into the strut tower right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove the line from the valve cover here to the throttle body. Okay, let's get this air tube out of here. This is going to have to come off anyways. Well, it's just going to be out of your way. Alright, we got the second line off from the valve cover to the air intake. Now I'm going to disconnect the master full sensor by this red tab right here. You're just going to pull it back just like that. Master full sensor out, and then we're going to go ahead and remove this bolt from the clamp and take this air box out. That's out of the way. We're going to move these electrical connectors right here from the throttle body by this simple red tab. Pull it out again. That comes out easy, just like that. Over onto the top here by the PurgeValve. Next, I'm going to remove these 2 clamps from this hose right here. Like I said before, you need 2 of these at the same time. And this is going to be difficult, but not difficult, but it's one of those tries where you can get it on the first try or the second try, or maybe your 10th try. Alright, sliding that bad boy out. That's fine right there. This hose is removed from right there. Now next we're going to remove our coolant temp right here, away right here. I'm going to take off these 2 retaining nuts on the fuel lines. Wow, this is really loose already. And these things are barely even on there. Remove the bracket. Then we're going to remove the foam part to access our fuel rails. And simply hop onto the other side and do the same as there. You really don't have to move the coolant thing as much, but yeah, these things are. Get that out of the way, this bracket. And we will remove our foam covering the fuel rails as well on this side. Now we're going to go ahead and remove our retaining bolts for the fuel rails. This one, not hard at all neither, just comes off really easy. So now I got all the bolts, they're out of here. I just left them in there. They're really long bolts, but next we're just going to disconnect the plugs to the injectors on both sides here. Alright, we're just going to disconnect our fuel lines right here. Make sure you get a rag to catch all the excess fuel that pops out. You would probably want to do this on the side because it's gonna squirt out a little bit, but make sure you definitely put a rag and catch this. I'm just gonna push this pin in. Push both pins in actually, just like that. And pop it out. Woo! See, look. That thing popped out for sure. It's alright though. It's only fuel, but you don't want to get that anywhere. We removed our fuel line right here. We are ready to remove our fuel rail. It's only connected by one line. So now we can just gently lift up. Okay. They pop out just like that. You'll feel it. Heading on over to the other side. Gently lift up evenly on both sides here. Or maybe even one side. Okay. Popped out just like that. Alright. Get some things out of your way right here. Gently lift your fuel rails up. Oh snap. I can feel fuel coming out. Okay. Try not to tip this fuel rail so where more fuel can pop out. But alright guys, now that we've got our fuel rails off, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to take the manifold off. And it's connected. The manifold is not really connected. The bolts are gonna stay in the manifold. You're just gonna loosen them out. There's one bolt right here in the front. There's another bolt right here in the middle. And there's one more bolt all the way in the rear. You'll be able to see it for sure. Now let's get to it. I'm gonna take an 8mm. This is an 8mm. Loosen it up. They're not going to come out. Remember the bolts, they're not going to come out fully because they're attached to the manifold. Basically, as you can see with your new intake manifold, that the bolts, they don't come all the way out. Other side. All right. That seems to be out all the way. I take this purge valve right here off, and will that do? Yeah, the whole piece will come out so we can get the intake off. It's got another Mustang over there. It's purge valve right here. Okay, that's off. Now I can go ahead and remove the intake manifold. Coming up slightly. Come on. Oh snap, I forgot. On the rear, guys, there are clips that is they won't allow this to come out. There's just clips attached. There should be clips attached back here. Yeah. You gotta get to the back and just pry these out. Are we gonna have this intake manifold out of here? Yes, we are. Finally. Stock intake manifold is out, and you guys want to see, it's pretty a little bit dirty inside. Now I'm just got some brake cleaner right here. Just gonna clean the surface a little bit. Gonna close the hood for 1 second while we transport this throttle body because it's really windy out today. I don't want nothing going in there, so we're just gonna transfer this throttle body from the stock intake over to the Boss. Now this red part right here, this is a throttle body spacer. I don't know how well everything's gonna fit, but if it doesn't fit right, then I'll just take the throttle body spacer off. You can see, to stay very organized and as neat as possible, look how organized this place is right here. Yes sir, it makes everything much easier. We can compare these two. This is my stock throttle body, or not stock throttle body, the stock intake manifold, and this is the Boss Grill 2 manifold, and this is ported. I got my Boss Grill 2 manifold ported. Basically, the inner surface of the Boss intake manifold looked like this, the stock one, with these fins and everything, but since I got it ported, these fins were deleted, and this inner surface right here was basically sanded down just a little bit to allow more airflow through. Now, basically comparing to the stock manifold, it honestly, like, it looks like there's really not too much big of a difference, just besides cutting off these edges right here, because there's really not too much. Just, I don't know if it's really worth it in the end, to be honest, but who knows. We got it ported, so we will see. Okay, so I'm about to throw the bolts back into the throttle body here. yeah, we're gonna take our fuel rails now that we got our throttle body on there, and it's gonna go under the throttle body just like that, and the fuel rails basically back into their places just like that. And you're gonna want to push down so they could clamp back up on in there. That side's in. You should hear a click kind of as these things will go in. Okay, so I got the injectors in. It doesn't require too much force, but you just want to push it in to the point where if you try to lift it up, they're not really going to come out. And this side, I lift it up, they're not really going to come out. I have a little bit of movement, but they're going to be in there. Some lubrication may be good to put these in there as well. All right, so let's throw the boss. Pick up in here. Locate where you're going to be putting these bolts at. You got to move some stuff out of the way. Alright, now that we got the boss in here, we're gonna go ahead and tighten up these 3 bolts as to when we took it off, and we're just gonna repeat the process, guys. So, okay. So I tighten this side, now I'm gonna tighten this side, and we're gonna skip that because I'm just gonna tighten it down. Alright, now I got all the bolts installed there. I don't have a torque wrench, so if you guys really think I should torque, I mean, I'm not gonna torque it, but if anybody's watching this and if you think it's really needed to torque, then just list it down below. But I'm just gonna go and just give these bolts one more slight twist, simply just like this. Boom, to like, I don't know, I guess we're hand torquing it somehow, I guess. Slight twist, because they're already tight and we don't want to strip these. All right, now we're going to take our fuel rail bolts right here, these long bolts that came out from last time, and just simply going to hand tighten these can be easily hand tightened, so I advise to hand tighten these first. Now I'm just going to go ahead, after hand tighten them, just tighten them down. Now we're just going to reconnect these injectors back up on in here. For all these harness injectors, you got to make sure you'll hear that click. Very easy click. You'll definitely hear it for sure. Now I'm going to reconnect my fuel on. Boom, just like that. It's not coming out. Now we'll get this brake line, this brake booster line right here back. You got to hit it on the angle to get it inside the bolts there. Slide it down and bring this around and out. All right. Keep that in for right now. You just need to put this in right here. We're good right there. Alright, now we're going to take this back, spin it back. Then we're going to have to get our pliers and put it all the way back. Alright, that'll do. Now I'm going to go ahead and install the foam. Alright, I just installed the foam. The right side goes on this side with the arrow pointing towards you, and the left side, same old thing. Go ahead and then reinstall your brackets. Alright, now after tightening down your bolts, go ahead and throw your lines back in place. Right there. Now we're going to go ahead and throw our oil separator back on. Simply like that, click in. Simply like that, click in. And I am definitely going to need a JLT or some sort of, I guess, UPR, one of those good brand oil catch clans. I'm definitely going to invest in one soon with this boss for sure. Okay guys, so this is going to be the part for the PurgeValve relocation. Basically, if you bought the whole kit that was like around 200 bucks, they would originally locate the PurgeValve and, you know, just relocate it up there. But we're not going to do that. This is about 2 feet of line that we got here. It's way more than enough. Maybe someone know, some of you might cut it, but it's way more than enough line. You need at least 2 feet right here, though. Now, so this thing is going to save you a ton of money because you don't have to relocate your purge valve. Basically, this line right here is one end is going to go right here at the top, basically where that green thing was on your guys' boss. Now it's off. It's going to go right here. And the other end, which is right here, our purge valve is located down here. And you guys, you would have a that blue O-ring right there, gasket thing. The other end of this hose is going to connect into that part with the blue right there. Basically, in a better view right here, we're going to go under the throttle body where the purge valve is going to be. Purge valve's right there with the blue. And you're going to take your other line with the clamp and just put it up in this vacuum right here. I can't do it on the camera, but basically 2 and 2, really easy right there. You're just going to put these two together. So you don't have to basically relocate your purge valve over there with that $200 kit. And let's continue this install here. I'm going to plug in the throttle body connector right here. That back end, this is all stock. Make sure that clips back in. Okay. And then I already threw the other one back there in. And all the wires are in right here. Now let's get the intake on. Alright, intake on. Eventually I gotta put the sound tube right there. Driver's side connector right there. Just came out a little bit. Push that back in. Connected. Alright, now everything is really back connected. Let me connect this sound tube right here. Don't forget your mass airflow sensor connector right here as well. Now, as you guys can see, we have everything back together here. I put a zip tie for this purge valve fuel line right here, so it can just be sitting tight right there. And for the purge valve itself, so it won't be dangling around everywhere. Eventually, I may install a bracket so it can be really secure and look nice. But there's a zip tie as well back there, so this thing's barely moving. So a zip tie here, and I put a zip tie right there. Okay, everything is done. The boss is looking good, y'all. I can't wait to start this thing. We'll be in the next video for sure, so tune in for that. But I'm combining the boss with the JLT Series 1 cold air intake. I did buy my JLT air intake used, so the air filter is kind of dirty. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up with some Canon air filter cleaner and let this thing clean, dry out for a lot of hours, and get this thing back looking great up under the hood. And right now I am still unsure who I'm going to go to for a tuner. I'm pushing Lund. A lot of you are saying Lund. So without further ado, let me get this thing cleaned up, and I think I might see you guys in the next video, or we're going to see what's going to happen after I get this thing cleaned.